So I finally finished the Alien series by watching Alien Romulus. Um, they had a lot of cool kills. It's probably had the best characters so far besides Aliens. And they even have a callback to Aliens late on in the movie. We follow this girl named Rain, her android Andy, who she treats like a brother and says is her brother. Though she's literally gonna abandon him. It's so fucked up. Um, Then there's some other characters like Tyler. I don't really remember any of the other people's names because they don't do that much. Um, but I actually kind of like these characters compared to most of the Alien movies. Um, it's me saying that they're the best characters besides Aliens wasn't exactly a compliment. It's just I personally don't feel anything for these characters. I don't know about other people and the alien characters throughout the series because I never really felt anything for most of the characters besides Ripley. Um, Aliens was the one with the best characters. A lot of fucking cool kills. They add some new lore to the series. Maybe they were in the games or something. I've heard there's like games and comic books about Alien, but as far as the movies go, they add new lore with the facehuggers being blind. So we get a little tense scene where they're trying to sneak past the facehuggers and they like turn up the air or turn down the air or something on the ship so that their body temp is the same as the ship. So that way they would be invisible to the facehuggers. Problem is, if they sweat, obviously they would get caught. They do end up sweating, but that's not the reason they're caught. They're caught because I think the girl's name was Kay, ends up calling them and asking for them for help. And he stupidly answers the radio instead of getting to safety and then answering the radio. They also have a scene where one of the characters gets face hugged, but they're able to get it off by freezing its tail. Pretty cool way to get it off. I think we've only seen them remove the alien one other time in this series, which is literally the last one, Alien Covenant. And I had even forgot that they had took off the face hugger. Because in my review, I was like, oh, how did he get, pregnant by the face hugger? But yeah, I guess even though they removed the face hugger, he got pregnant. They mentioned that as a thing in this movie, that there's still like a 60 to 40 chance that she would be pregnant with the alien's baby, even though they got it off. So I guess it gets things pregnant pretty fucking quick. Which is strange because I remember it being on the John Hurt's face a very long time in Alien before it came off. Like it came off like the next day or something. But then again, that's the first movie, and the directors themselves are figuring out how to write these aliens. So I guess you could write that off. Andy starts out as this character who's not very confrontational. He lets people bully him, but it's really only this one guy. I think his name was Born or something. Bjorn. They try and give us like a sad backstory on why this guy doesn't like androids. But it's basically just an excuse. Like how some people who are racist will go, I don't like black people because a black person killed my dad. Their race has nothing to do with the person killing your dad. If they were going to kill your dad, it doesn't matter what skin color they are. Those same racist ass people that use an excuse on why they're scared of black people, that a black person killed their dad, would look at you stupid if you fucking said, I'm scared of white people because a white person killed my dad. So, yeah, it's just basically bigotry, which is pretty funny Because this is the first Android movie where we had a black android and we get a racism allegory, so maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know. I don't really think they did that. Cause it just, I don't know. It's weird. He's like, well, my mom got killed by an android stealing some people in a tunnel, so I don't like androids now. It's just so stupid. He ends up getting killed by being melted by the alien's acid when trying to tase it to death. Um, it's a pretty fucking cool kill. Andy gets put a chip in from one of the androids that was destroyed, almost destroyed anyway, that's on the ship, and it changes his personality and gives him a new directive. Her dad, for context, had found Andy thrown away. I guess his model was too old or something. I don't remember their exact explanation. Maybe they don't even know. They maybe not have an explanation. But he got thrown out, and the dad found him and took him in and reprogrammed him to take care of his daughter and reprogrammed him with dad jokes and stuff. Which I think makes his character pretty interesting. I liked Andy. It's definitely a callback to Aliens with Bishop, being thrown out. Which was very sad. I liked Bishop. It's crazy how they just throw people out if they think that they're beyond repair. The androids don't get a choice because they're technically not people. But yeah, he becomes more, preserve others instead of, saving people. He's basically, even though he doesn't exactly act like other characters in horror movies, he's basically the stereotypical horror character in a horror movie that's all about survival, no matter what. Like, they're being chased by something, and then he shuts the door before the last person makes it in, and everybody yells at him and is like, why did you do that? She could have made it. And, they make all their 50,000 excuses. He's one of those characters, basically, but not as much of an asshole. Like, he doesn't mean to be like this. It's because of the chip. So I guess it makes it somewhat unique, but he feels like one of those stereotypical characters. Which I wasn't, a huge fan of. That change in his personality. He ends up giving them guns, which obviously they can't use the guns because, shooting aliens, acid, ship, they're on the bottom floor. He thinks that maybe it'll scare the aliens from attacking them. But, of course, it doesn't. So she ends up, turning the anti-gravity off because that was something in the beginning of the movie. So, the aliens are, floating in the air and she's shooting them. And the acid's, floating in the air. Pretty cool way to, defeat them. I like that aspect. One of them manages to survive, though, and tries to kill her, which leads to Andy coming to save her. And he says the classic line from Aliens. And I'll admit, I said it along with him. Get away from her, you bitch. Very cool line. It was cool to see Andy do it. I don't think it really fit his personality, though, especially since he was back to his more innocent behavior. He hadn't said a cuss word the whole movie. In fact, he doesn't even talk that much. Both when he has his original chip and when he has his new chip, there's a lot of scenes where I feel like he should be talking, and he's just not. He's just kind of standing there. I guess that's their way of making the android seem, like an android and not human. It's a weird choice, though. There's just so many scenes where he's just kind of standing there. When he sees Kay in, the pod, and there's a bunch of blood in there, and he goes to go check on her, and there's the alien. He's just kind of standing there. It's very weird how this android acts. And, I just didn't think that line really fit him. But it was cool in the moment, so I'll give them that. Uh, Kay was pregnant already. I think we've seen people pregnant before. I'm not 100% sure. I might be thinking of a Predator movie or something. But I think we've seen pregnant people in Alien before get impregnated by one of the aliens, but they might have not, has been far down in their term or something. Because she ends up giving birth to a alien, but at the same time, it's a human. It's a very creepy looking thing, and I really like it. So it's like a human alien. It's fucking creepy as hell. She gets killed by it. Andy gets injured by it, and then the main character Rain kills it. And basically the airlock way, but she at least does it in a unique way, where she uses some of its own acid against it on the floor to make it go out of the ship. Um, Pretty fucking cool way to kill it. And she's like, Andy, I'm taking you with me to the planet, even though you're illegal there. Our mission now is what's best for us. Kind of corny, kind of stupid. The fact that she was just gonna just abandon this guy who she looked as a brother is just really insane to me, and it feels out of character. Like, I don't even really know this girl, but she's very defensive and doesn't even want to do the job with him because the one guy's being an asshole to Andy. Yet she's gonna fucking abandon him, and not tell him. That's just insane to me. And I guess her character development is that she's no longer gonna abandon the android. I still really enjoyed the movie. It's probably one of my favorite Alien movies, though, again, unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of the Alien movies, so that's not saying that much. I've heard a lot of people love this one, so I like the kills, and it was a decent movie. That's all I'm gonna say.